At the halfway point of the Integrity Racing League season, we've got ourselves another race, of course, but tonight's going to be a bit different. Special event to get us back on our way in the summer swing. This is the Integrity Racing League All-Star Race, where we've got ourselves an open grid before the main event. 15 drivers are trying to qualify before the race gets on its way, and it looks like Justin Morton trying to hit the fans here as we get things going in Wilkes County, North Carolina. The North Wilkesboro Speedway is the host of our festivities as we get things going for the first time since late May. Great to have you all back once again as we get things started. It's been a while since we've seen the Integrity Racing League on this channel. Nevertheless, thrilled to have them back. My name is David Croix, as always, your host for tonight's broadcast. Great to have you, and we hope you enjoy our presentation. We've got 2 races to show to you tonight, and we've only got 2 minutes until qualifying gets on its way. 15 drivers in the next-gen machines looking to qualify. 21 drivers are locked in, and it looks like most of the drivers here waiting to get the race on their way are waiting on pit road. Not a lot of drivers taking laps on the circuit, one of which, though, going to be Nicholas Ward. He scored 9th on the board, and we've still got a lot of time to see whether or not he's got the speed to make it in to the main. The grand prize for tonight's racing, well, it's going to be $50, over $100 in our prize pool, and every driver has a chance to take home some money no matter where we see them finish. So we'll talk about that as we get things on our way. 1 minute and 17 seconds, time running out before qualifying begins, and as it stands, Blake Gordon, the fastest driver. Justin Morton, he scored 3rd on the board, but it looks like right now he's going into the infield more than he's going on the pavement. He's going to get back on his way again. He's between the barriers of the fans, and of course the little bit of trouble he's in right now is not realistic. He's stuck inside the grass. Nicholas Ward gonna pass by him like there's no issue on his end. Practice has seen not a lot of driving overall. Guys are not putting in as much time as if it were a points race, but there's still a big prize on the line as things get going once again. Ward's on his way. How's about the driver of the number 9 machine? He's there as well, but the rest of the field now anticipating and eagerly anticipating qualifying to get this race on the move. 5 minutes, 2 laps, and it all comes down to these first 50 laps of racing to see who makes the starting grid for our all-star race. Nicholas Ward dives into pit road this time by. Looks like he's done as well. And with that being said, it is Blake Gordon with a brand new look in the number 13, the fastest driver here in practice. The all-star race still coming your way very soon as we get qualifying on its way to see who captures that coveted pole position for the open before the main event gets on a roll. Qualifying's over, and Blake Gordon is your fastest driver. Actually, it's practice. Qualifying is just getting started. And just like that, North Wilkesboro Speedway empty all over again. We've got now a total of over 15 drivers. Bobby Ross looks to be the 16th and final entry on the day, and Casey Shue going to get us going here in qualifying as we see drivers already on the move. Number 3 machine going to be the first of which. And in the wall immediately, Casey Shue goes. How's about John Steele? Looks like now the 22 will lead us off as qualifying gets on its way. The all-star race just getting going. Now, with North Wilkesboro Speedway being very different from the ovals we usually go to, these drivers are going to be thrown for a bit of a loop. Smaller circuit, it's a very, very well-known circuit for its character on the pavement. Not smooth by any means. You've got to drive it differently through 1 and 2 compared to 3 and 4. Its challenges are everlasting, and it has not been repaved since 1981, even in current competition, as we saw the NASCAR Cup Series All-Star race there. It's going to catch John Steele out as Trevor Trago gets his lap on the way. It's going to be the 37 machine now on the move here, coming down the exit of start-finish line all over again. Trago now going to be just behind Don Stevenson. Stevenson leads the charts by only just about 21 thousandths of a second. And now with qualifying on the move, Don Stevenson done with his run. He will be provisional pole, and the Stevenson machine 47 from the Octane Series back on frame for the first time, of course, since Sonoma, the midway point of the Octane Series season. Trevor Trago backing it down to the 37 machine. It's going to be Casey Shue on the way in the number 3 tonight. A bit of a different look for Casey Shue as the number 3 putters around the circuit, not going at full pace. Brandon Bernhardt in the number 81 Chevy Camaro on the way as well, and as it stands, it's going to be the number 70 machine in timing and scoring that is not seen anywhere. Now, looks like Bernhardt goes into third. Brandon Bernhardt, 98 thousandths of a second away. Let's see what he's got here to ride on board with the number 81 machine. Bernhardt coming through, rides it a bit higher off the exit of 3 and 4, then puts the power back down. And for Brandon Bernhardt, he's going to go all the way up to position number 3. 3 looks to be good for him. He will stay at the third spot and not gain any more. So with that in mind, now we see only 7 drivers have taken a lap. Many more still await their time off pit road. 2 minutes and 25 seconds remain, and it's counting down even still. Drivers who remain on pit road include Blake Gordon, Nick Tarbuck, Thomas Bressie, Justin Morton, Cody Smith, Farrell Ryan. That's Ryan Farrell. Looks like his nickname is switched again. It's Boomer Logan as well, Cal Filarski, and Jacob Fife. No driver on the track as it stands, and you can see North Wilkesboro empty as we wait for one other driver to at least take a chance in qualifying. 7 drivers have taken times, going back to John Steele with a 19.933. Rest of your field remains off the track, and we still have to wait to see whether or not they choose to go on or choose to stay off the circuit. With that in mind, though, we might have a bit more time to show you the starting grid, as we will have over 15 drivers competing to make it through the qualifying event to the main. It's a 50-lap qualifier going to 100-lap main, and that will give us 150 laps of racing here in Wilkes County. Every mile and every lap are sure to be good ones as we get the Integrity Racing League back on the way. Last time we went racing was an action-filled week with a 300-mile race at Charlotte in the Octane Series, and the week before, the Integrity Ignite Series finished off its championship. Now, Ignite Series going for their second half of the season, and the Octane Series as well. Different championship format, still the same excitement. Boomer Logan's going to be on his way, and he will set the backdrop as we show you your starting grid for the Open here in the Integrity All-Star Race, the Integrity Racing League for 2023, giving 26 drivers a chance in the main. And without further ado, let's get your starting grid for the Open, the qualifying event here in the Integrity All-Star Race. We've got ourselves over 15 drivers looking to make it in for a prize pool of over $100, and on pole position, provisionally, it's going to be Nicholas Ward with a 19.045. That's going to be the 97 machine up in the first position inside of row number 1 with Don Stevenson in number 47. 2 Octane Series competitors side by side as it's Stevenson outside row 1 with a 19.137, just under a tenth of a second behind your provisional pole sitter. Then Brandon Bernhardt finds himself in the third spot in the number 81 machine. Bernhardt going to be there inside row 2 with a 19.143, very close to Don Stevenson's front row marker. And Trevor Trago looks like his number is the 8 according to time and scoring. He will have himself a night and go to 4th on the board with a 19.257. Casey Shue going to be 5th in the number 3 machine inside row 3. And the Intimidator throwback with a good wrench Chevy on the screen. Tonight, Casey Shue will pilot it up to 5th qualifying with a 19.314. Then going to be Boomer Logan in the 6th spot with a 19.348 number 94 machine right inside the 3rd row on the outside line. And Bobby Ross will be there in the number 44 machine, scored in 7th, 19.501 for him to put it in the 7th spot. And outside row 4 going to be the number 22 machine of John Steele, and that number 22 outside row 4, 8th position, comfortably set in with a 19.933, and he's the final driver to take a time in qualifying as Jacob Fife qualifies 9th on iRacing in the number 36, your league owner inside row 5 with defending Integrity Racing League champion Cody Smith and the number 18 Next Level Racing machine. He will be the final man to start inside the top 10. To go from there, it's going to be Thomas Bressie in 11th inside of row number 6, and Blake Gordon with a brand new number outside row 6 inside the top dozen. Nevertheless, Ryan Farrell is going to be the number 13 spot inside row 7 for the number 93, as Justin Morton finds himself now at 14th outside row number 7 in the number 9. Nick Tarbuck in the number 4, 15th spot inside of row 8, and the final driver in our 16-car open field will be Cal Filarski, rounding out the field and playing shotgun in tonight's qualifying event. And that is your starting grid for the Integrity Racing League All-Star Race Open. Now, 50 laps of racing will come to you, front row on your screen, set in stone. The 97 and the 47, two top contenders in the Integrity Octane Series, and they will line up at the front of your field. Next-gen cars tonight, no use of the Xfinity machine seeing the Ignite Series, so some drivers have to adapt a bit more than others. And others might have that edge just driving more with the same competitors in this same car. A big difference between the Xfinity machines and Cup Series machines, especially now. The Xfinity platform being mostly like the cars of tomorrow, seeing the early 2010s and the late 2000s. These next gens on a brand new platform, they drive different, they feel different, and they especially look different. And taking us back to NASCAR's biggest throwback track, it's only fitting to see such a contrast in a big night like this. 50 laps to get this one done. The iRacing official pace car will drop in this time by. We only have ourselves now a total of 9 drivers on the field. 5 will advance to make it a 26-car main event. One more lap before the race gets on its way, and we'll present to you the information about tonight's race as we get things going. The All-Star Race, 26 drivers going to make it in. 21 drivers are already locked in, and you can see them on the bottom of your screen. The open format, well, it's right there. The race begins just about now. 50 laps, and we will fill the field up with as many drivers as we need to make sure there are 26 racing for the $50 grand prize. For the 100-lap race, there's a lot on the line, but if you want to make it to the main, you've got to get through here first. The iRacing official pace car bids them a farewell, and Nicholas Ward will say hello to the green flag for the first time since late May. We're back underway in the Integrity Racing League. The All-Star Race Open is a go. And Don Stevenson heads the field right now. It's going to be Nicholas Ward and Brandon Bernhardt not too far behind, fighting for second. The entirety of your field is still in frame. Going back to Cal Filarski right now, scored in the 9th spot. They're still racing clean as ever, and it's going to be spin in the back of the field. Cal Filarski, no other incident. We look to stay green. Number 6 machine in big trouble, just like that. And now going to be in the 9th spot, way back on the field. 3rd lap, our first incident as Filarski gets into it. The drivers go by the smoke-filled circuit, and now Don Stevenson beginning to build a gap. Brandon Bernhardt lies back in second here. Nicholas Ward stays in third. The big safe zone right now appears to be inside that top 5. Final man inside of that will be occupying it. Of course, the number 44 of Bobby Ross. Top 5 going to be shown on your frame right now. It's a 1-second gap between all the drivers in it, but right now the leaders are only separated by 0.2 of a second as they go through the backstretch all over again. It's the biggest group in, of course, this entire pack. The front runners, they seem to be able to stay closer to each other than the back. Boomer Logan now going to be battling with Casey Shue in the number 3 machine, and Casey Shue rides it up high. Most drivers are laying low. Maybe something different that this man can find. That number 3 machine looking to intimidate on Boomer Logan's number 94 as a Ford Mustang now occupies the 6th spot, and Cal Filarski occupies pit road. And it looks like the number 6 machine going to call a night just like that. Getting servers, being put 1 lap down. That's a death sentence as is. Looks like these drivers up front know what they're racing for. They don't want to be a bit too dicey. That will cost them a spot in the main event. This is not the big money race. This is the race that gets you there. So you don't want to jeopardize your stuff, your equipment, your ability to keep on driving well. Just hit your marks, set those laps. Don't worry about being the fastest. It looks like one man's worrying about that right now, and that will be Don Stevenson. Rest of these guys don't have anything else to worry about. Trevor Trago might, and he's going to lock it down and save it. But that could have been much worse. Trago now falls to the back of the field. He's going to be scored in the 8th spot. And now the Trevor Trago machine fading further and further. Going to be in the 8th spot indeed as we take a 30-second instant replay to find out what just happened. Looks like Trago just got a bit loose there as we look in the onboard. And the handwork from Trevor Trago will tell the tale inside the cockpit here. And you can see working as hard as he can, just making it through 3 and 4, then just gets a little slide. Thankfully able to lock it down, but that's going to cost him so much time, and that might end his chances of making it into the main race. 10 laps in already, he's fading way back, over a second adrift from John Steele, scored in 7th. At 11 laps in, it is Don Stevenson leading the way. Nicholas Ward in the number 97 looks to have had a bit of a problem staying connected to the server. Thankfully, it's not a permanent one like the things we've seen before in this season. Notably, races like Richmond leading the race only to be disconnected due to a hardware malfunction. Thankfully tonight, he's still in it, but that looked to be pretty bad if it was going to go for any longer. 97 still going to be scored in 3rd. Brandon Bernhardt is in 2nd, and it is Don Stevenson leading the way 13 laps through the All-Star race, just getting started, but at number 47 has not faced any competition. And running solidly so far, Don Stevenson stays in the lead. Brandon Bernhardt gets pressured that time by from Nicholas Ward, but it looks like Ward not going to think of doing anything more than pressuring him. Put a little bit more on it. Maybe look like he's going to go for it, but he does not choose to do it. Stick his nose in slightly, but not go for the full dive right through. Now Boomer Logan in that number 94 machine is in 5th, and for the driver who was in the back of the field, languishing back with a lot of time separating himself from the leaders, it almost looked to be impossible for him to make it into the top 5. Well, with the incidents we've seen already from John Steele, Trevor Trago, and Cal Filarski, Steele recently going around, now Boomer Logan is in the prime position to go to the All-Star race if he just keeps it on the track and does not get passed by Casey Shue. Shue in the number 4 machine, going to be scored, of course, in 6th right now. The number 4 in his usual racing, but tonight he is in the number 3. Different look for a special race and another special paint scheme. Not only in the real world do we see that, but we see it in the virtual realm. Some drivers choosing to pick up new numbers tonight. The number 3 machine, of course, being one of which, and it is another driver in Blake Gordon, who is a brand new number for the rest of the season. He's bringing it out for the first time tonight as the number 47 stays in the front of the field. 17 laps in, he's got himself a good lead, and the rest of the field has not been able to make much time on him just yet. Don Stevenson, take a look up front. This is the rear view, indeed, of the number 47. And holding on to her very well, Don Stevenson maintains that lead 19 laps in out of 50. Got himself a very good chance to go all the way if he just keeps it going. 50 laps in this early running. The All-Star Open, it's not as important as the main, but Stevenson looking to put on a clinic regardless. He's been up front since the very beginning of it, and nobody's been able to take that away from him. Pole sitter Nicholas Ward has faded back just a bit more, and Bobby Ross, while staying with his pack, not been able to make any notable passes ever since climbing up to the top 5, so maybe there's more in the cards for these drivers, but right now they're all lying back in an orderly fashion, just looking to make it to the main event here tonight. Boomer Logan still has an edge on Casey Shue as they remain single file here. It's the number 3 machine putting the pressure down on the number 94. Taking a look on board from Casey Shue, it looks like Logan locks it up just a bit, and you can see the difference in line. Casey Shue prefers to stay all the way down low, using that bottom and using that final layer of banking to try to get a better run off exit, just putting more power down. Boomer puts the momentum back in once again, and that's why it's been a tug-of-war match. These two drivers making mistakes, and eventually one driver finds something good, and the other driver just can't seem to find anything altogether. Back and forth battle continues with the number 3 machine laying in 6th, and the number 94 there in the final transfer spot in 5th. Don Stevenson leads the way, and it's still Brandon Bernhardt right there with them. Top 2 drivers separated by only a quarter of a second, 23 laps through, and make it 24 this time by almost halfway in. Very little has changed up in front. Cal Filarski is 11 laps down at the moment, but still racing in the number 6, so there still could be a chance. 3-minute and 55-second pit stop. It looks like it came out to just under that marker, and the number 6 losing a lot of time as a result. John Steele still the lead lap, but 10 seconds down, still very bad news. Stevenson now sees a side-by-side action right behind him. It's going to be Brandon Bernhardt going right down low, trying to make a pass on Nicholas Ward. He's got a shot to take it. Can he make it? It looks like he just barely can't. Very close call, but the number 81 will have to fall back in line as we've now only got ourselves 25 laps to go. That could have been for Brandon Bernhardt a chance to get up into the second spot. Instead, it gives Nicholas Ward a shot in the arm to go for the leading position, and he looks better and better lap after lap. That time by, he was indeed quicker again compared to our leader, Don Stevenson, but only by a few hundredths of a second. Gaps are not major in speed right now. The only thing major would be a mistake out of the number 47. But the high line being used by that number 97 machine, he looks to have something figured out here, and it might carry over to the main race. If he can get that lead, he'd love to, of course, start this one off with a checkered flag. But it's time that will tell. 23 laps to go this time by. Stevenson's got himself a lead, but not by all too much. It's going to be Nicholas Ward right there with him as we have only 22 laps to go. We'll take a mini crank it up, courtesy of track cams for Gormans. Let's take a look at a static shot of the track. And taking a static shot of this entire track, you can see these drivers pushing as hard as they can, but it's been a challenge to pass, and I don't think even these cameras make it any different to see. These drivers are struggling big time. 21 laps to go. Now it's going to be 20, and we're running out of time to make a pass on anyone, especially when it comes to the leading battle. But Nicholas Ward tries to get under Don Stevenson. He was close that time by, but not close enough to make the pass, so he'll have to settle and lie back for at least the time being. Number 47 still right there with him. Will work off the corner at the exact same pace, and Don Stevenson still has first place, but the 97 is coming right back at him on the bottom side all over again. 47 goes high, 97 goes low. It's a game of opposites up in front, and it looks to stay that way as time is continuing to run out for these front runners. Brandon Bernhardt now lying back a bit more, letting the 97 do the dirty work for him, and maybe that will give other drivers a chance at the lead. Big send in for Nicholas Ward this time by, and he's about as close as he can get to that lead without having it. He lets Don Stevenson send it in deeper into the corners, getting a little bit more follow through in the middle, and then the exits look to be about dead even. If not, there's a slight advantage that number 47. That's a huge run that Nicholas Ward gets through 1 and 2 every single time. Just has to make it consistent for a chance to get that lead. There's a chance for both of these drivers right now to come home with an All-Star Open victory, and more importantly for them, a chance to get into the main event. They don't want to jeopardize it by wrecking late in the going. The payment structure gives every driver an opportunity to come home with a paycheck. Random payouts of $5 to 2 drivers outside the podium. Third place gets $15, second $25, and your winner gets the grand prize of $50. The prize for winning the Open? Ticket to the main event. Don Stevenson would love to have it, but Nicholas Ward now drops down to the inside line, and he tries to take a lead right there from him. 15 laps to go. A lap machine is going to be in effect here as we see a big slowdown and a caution flag. 36 laps in, and Boomer Logan is wrecked, and we got ourselves a yellow flag for the first time tonight. Big time hit, and this will change the complexion of this race indeed. Take a look on back. The shade drops down on North Wilkesboro, and the 94 gets roughed up. Trevor Trago not too far behind, tries to lay a pass down on him. 37 looks to go high, and Boomer Logan tries to come back up, and it looks like he wiggles up to the number 37 and takes him out. Multiple car incident. That brings out your first caution flag of the night with 14 laps to go. Boomer Logan, not major damage, but that's going to send him down to 7th. Could put his run in jeopardy. Maybe time is running out too quickly for him to get a chance to get back in the top 5. As we come back to live feed right now, it's Nicholas Ward as your race leader, and Brandon Bernhardt is in second. Boomer Logan now going to go up to 3rd because it looks like the rest of the field goes down a pit road. Don Stevenson on his way, so is Bobby Ross, so is Casey Shue, and finally, Trevor Trago remains after that hit. It might be worse for Trevor Trago than it is for the Boomer Logan machine as he remains on pit road here. This could be race ending and night ending for the number 37. Keep an eye out for Trevor Trago as the Nicholas Ward machine leading the field comes by once again. 12 laps to go in Wilkes County. Time is indeed closing in on the checkered flag. Before we get this thing going, the Open will end and the main event will be on its way momentarily. How about Nicholas Ward able to make it happen on strategy here? Now has the front of the field in his hands, control this entire group, and hopefully a chance to make it in to the front, of course, of the All-Star race. Just got to stay in that top 5 to make it into the main, but a victory would be that much sweeter. Make it now only a total of 11 laps to go. We'll go green with a total of 9. It appears single digits of racing left to determine who makes it into the All-Star race and who gets bumped out of your field. The stakes are high. The price is high if you make a mistake. And of course, big risk, big reward if you really want to send it deep. Guys like Casey Shue, Boomer Logan, Trevor Trago on the outside looking in right now. If they want to lock themselves into the All-Star race, they'll have to get gutsy. Maybe they'll make their move this restart by, or they will wait for another. It's now a chance at cautions breeding cautions. 10 laps to go. Field will go double file this time by. We'll get ready for your first restart of the night. Nicholas Ward, top side, it's going to be Brandon Bernhardt right there on the bottom, and Don Stevenson is going to be in third. John Steele, position number 4, and Casey Shue in the top 5. Those are your 5 drivers currently in the All-Star race as it stands. Top 5 makes it in. The rest go home as the first restart of the night gets on its way. Nicholas Ward gets a huge jump, and we're underway for restart number 1 here in the All-Star Open. And battles all around the circuit. Could be Nicholas Ward holding his head up high in first. Don Stevenson shoots it high, and Bernhardt goes even lower. 3 wide for the leads. They come down the line this time. 8 laps to go, and they're 3 wide middle. But Don Stevenson on the high side gets the lead. Fantastic pass for your man at the number 47. Just like that, he's got himself a race lead, and he's got a decisive margin over the rest of the field. Bobby Ross now working on Brandon Bernhardt for third. He gets there, and it's going to be Trevor Trago right now, who's in the middle of this field. He's not one of the drivers fighting in there. He's currently scored in 8th, but 5th is held by Boomer Logan. Logan drops down low again. He's trying to use Trevor Trago as a pickoff. He can't. Trago blocks him. Now the bumper Casey Shue gives to Boomer Logan, gives it twice. There's a battle for the top 5, and there was a battle for the lead, but things are falling apart. Cal Filarski in trouble down pit road. Nobody else involved. 6 laps to go this time by for Don Stevenson, and the yellow flag follows for Bobby Ross as there's a multi-car spin, and most of your field is involved. This is huge, and it will send us into overtime. And the biggest wreck of the night so far, second caution, will bring us down to the final 2 laps. As overtime here in the Integrity Racing League is seen at North Wilkesboro. Bobby Ross going to be the first man involved. It looks like the number 44 got loose off corner, and that he did. Comes up the track, blocks it. Then there's a panic after that. Casey Shue gets involved. Brandon Bernhardt gets a big hit of it. Now, multiple drivers with major damage as they come down to the final few laps. This changes everything all over again, and there might not even be 5 drivers with clean cars after that one. Ross down pit road with huge suspension damage. That might be his night. And now Don Stevenson looking to get an even safer win, as there's only 5 drivers left in this little group behind the pace car. And with 4 laps to go now, time running out. We'll see if there's even an overtime attempt in place. They might just go and call it a race. Checkered flag could fall under caution. The way things are going, it's going to be contentious regardless. Stevenson has himself an edge. He's had an edge all race long. He's led almost the entirety of this race, but Nicholas Ward, who had the pace in qualifying, wants to show he is no hot lap hero and he can take the win even if it won't be handed to him on a silver platter. The 97, who's in second right now, not too far behind your race leader. And with 3 laps to go, time is running out to see who will be a winner and who won't be. We are estimating a race start at lap number 50, so we're going to extend the race if we do get a restart. Otherwise, the checkered flag will fall under caution. And Nicholas Ward drops down to the inside on pit road. And this is going to be a pretty big strategic move. If he has an overtime in mind, of course, he will have to claw through the field to make it to the top 5. So with that in mind, we will indeed get ourselves a restart, extending this race. Green, white, checkered. Nicholas Ward drops down to pit road, gets a new set of Goodyear rubber. The only driver to take 49 laps of this race on the original set, Nicholas Ward. That was him. He's now on his way with a new set, a newer set than anyone else in the field. Don Stevenson still has us a lead. And the second place man now is Boomer Logan, with third place being the number 3 in Casey Shue. John Steele, position number 4. Brandon Bernhardt is now in 5th, and the complexion of this race has changed all over again. How about it? The number 47 and the number 94, they could be your final front row of the night. And as they come down 2 by 2 to the start and finish line once again, this is set to be a green-white checkered. 1 green flag lap where they can call a caution again. And when they get to that white flag, well, it is nothing that will stop these drivers. It will be an all-out frenzy from there on out. We'll see if we make it to the white flag regardless. Green flag's out for the second restart as we have a green-white checkered overtime finish to settle the All-Star Open. Stevenson finds himself with a big lead right now. It's Boomer Logan who drops down low. He's in the 3rd spot. No worry for him. Casey Shue's in 2nd. He does not have to fight to get in the top 5. He's already there. Nicholas Ward's clawed to the top 5. And Boomer Logan's in trouble. 1 lap to go. And he's going to fall outside the top 5. Stevenson's got a lead right now. The top 4 are all ahead. Now the battle is going to be for 5th. Nicholas Ward drops down low to try to take a podium position. Don Stevenson comes out of corner number 4 and wins the All-Star Open, and out of corner number 4, the final man of the top 5 is still Boomer Logan. Boomer Logan takes the final transfer spot, and it's a wreck at the line with Cal Filarski destroyed. Don Stevenson, Casey Shue, Nicholas Ward, Brandon Bernhardt, and Boomer Logan are locked in to advance to the main event in the All-Star race, and now the number 47 gets a chance to celebrate. And Stevenson burning down the house already off of your track. And just like that, the All-Star Open has been concluded. And that means the main event is coming right your way. We're just getting started live on FTN. We're going to get your podium interview, of course, with the drivers in the Open. And then we should have a special guest coming in very soon. So stay tuned as we've got ourselves a great night of action ahead of us. It is Don Stevenson who gets it done here in the All-Star Open and finds his way back to victory lane on his first call of asking after the halfway break. The number 47 is your race winner, and after 50 laps in Wilkes County, Don Stevenson, you come home as the All-Star Open race winner, locked into the main event. How do you feel after this one?
Relieved. I didn't have a very good feel or comfort for this track pretty much since I bought it, a few weeks ago. But unfortunately, we had kind of a small turnout tonight for the Open. So was able to get the pole, or was able to get out front early and kind of just impersonate Ryan Newman as best I could through that first run, and then we pitted with when we had the caution with about 15 to go, and was able to make a good move on the restart there, and was able to hold it on there for the win. Feel pretty good about it.
and able to take the checkered flag decisively. It looked like you had control all throughout. So with that in mind, how do you think it's going to be going into the All-Star main event? 100 laps, double the distance. Can the 47 keep the same speed?
That's going to be tough because I didn't have much speed there. I mean, Ward and Brandon, they were both all over my tail there, and honestly, I felt like they were both faster than I was. Like I melted that right front pretty good during that first run, and don't really think I was any faster at the beginning of that run. So I got some stuff to figure out here during this short practice session we got. Hopefully, we can find a little bit more speed and just figure things out a little bit better for the main.
And the main event just a few minutes away, but the 47, nevertheless, the quickest man here in the Open. Now, we're back for the first time since late May. How do you feel about that one before, of course, we have our first big race since then?
Feels great to be back, with all the guys and everything, racing. We first time we've ever taken the kind of the summer break like this because, we'd seen the numbers drop off during the summer and, kind of made sense, so hopefully, happy to have, drivers back tonight, but hopefully we'll have a lot more back next week as well when we go racing somewhere. I don't even know where we go racing next week, but, hopefully we'll have a much bigger turnout next week.
And that's what we hope to see is the Integrity Racing League is back on its way. Number 47 of Don Stevenson, now main driver, of course, to transfer in, winning the Open. Any final thoughts? Anyone else you'd like to thank as we just get this one going?
Thank my wonderful wife that allows me to race here every week. Thank, Integrity Racing League. It's a really great league we have here, and, bringing in the Monday Night Series and having the Xfinity Series as well. I mean, it's just been a lot of fun running both series there. So, looking forward to a fun second half of the season.
Absolutely. Don Stevenson kicking off the second half very well, finding himself as the winner of the Integrity Racing League All-Star Open here tonight. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And Don Stevenson, we're going to put him back on the move. He gets it done as your winner here in the All-Star Open. And as we get this one started, of course, we do have a special guest we would love to mention. And we're going to get to that right about now. The Open has concluded. We're going to bring in a special guest courtesy of Next Level Racing. Tonight, who's joining us on the broadcast live on FTN, it is going to be Tim Joyce, the manager of Next Level Racing, a special guest indeed to promote the special collaboration these drivers, of course, the Integrity Racing League have had with Next Level Racing and their incredible partnership that has been brought to this league. Now, we've got a chance to talk all Next Level Racing and talk all about the future. We get this one going and the All-Star Race Open has concluded. So with that in mind, let's get your halfway break going and bring in our guest for tonight's broadcast. From Next Level Racing, we've got Tim Joyce with us tonight on stream. Great to have him here, and of course, great for him to, of course, promote Next Level Racing, as Next Level Racing joining the Integrity Racing League as a premier partner with a great sort of final prize for all our drivers. Thank you for stopping by. Great to have you here.
Hey, thanks for having us on today. It's an exciting day for Next Level Racing. We've just launched the GT Lite Pro, an accessible sim cockpit for sim enthusiasts. So it's a great timing, David. Thanks for having me on.
And great to have you on. It's been, of course, fun to see this season. First half is over. We're here in the All-Star break, and this is the first season we've seen Next Level Racing alongside the Integrity Racing League. A great promotion, a sim rig given out to all our champions at the end of year. How do you feel about the sort of connection this league has now with Next Level Racing being, of course, we're only getting started?
100%. We're only getting started. We're trying to take it to the next level with you guys. And I think for us, it's really important, right, is to support the industry in any way we can. And you guys have a fantastic league with a lot of passion and a lot of really passionate, committed drivers to the industry. So we're here to support in any way we can. And yeah, really keen to keep building that as you guys grow. Obviously, both of us will keep growing and there's no stopping. So yeah, really exciting.
It's been very exciting to watch the progress of this partnership, and I was actually told we've got a new product seen on Next Level Racing that just released today. Can you give us a bit more info?
100%. Yeah, I mean, 30 minutes ago we went live, and this product is globally available to purchase now, which is really exciting. So it's the GT Lite Pro. You've probably heard of our GT Lite and FGT cockpit series. This is a foldable cockpit, and it's very much so entry level. However, the Pro version, if you're watching from the US, it comes in around 299, free shipping from the Next Level Racing website, nextlevelracing.com. You find it there on the homepage. It's packed with features, and the reviews have been fantastic from content creators around the globe that are into sim racing. So just to give you the top line features, if you're in the market for an GT Lite Pro, it's a foldable GT style cockpit. It's strong up to about 13 um, for direct drive. It's GT style with adjustable padding, and it's easy to transport and store. So it's super comfortable as well. It's got really good padding, and yeah, it's great for just putting it out, keeping the wheels and your pedals on, folding it out, and then putting it away.
Well, it's great to hear all the information. Next Level Racing always pushing for the next big thing here in sim racing equipment. Now, I'd love to ask you, with so much going on here for Next Level Racing, big partnerships with brands such as Ferrari, what has been the big driving factor for you guys as an organization to keep on pushing to find that next big thing?
100%. I think part of it for us is working with authentic and genuine partners, and I think with Ferrari sim racing team, G2 Esports sim racing team, and Veloce as well. I think it's just important for us to be able to align with teams that are trying to push the boundaries, and that's what we try and do with our products as well. So, for example, we just talked about our entry level range with the GT Lite Pro. We do have a elite range for people that want to push the limits, and so that's our FGT Elite 160 range, which is able to be in both Formula position and GT position as well. So that's where we fully align. We build we build products for customers. We make them affordable as well as giving them the option to have the best of the best with our incredible aluminum frames. And we're really proud of our no flex solutions marketed, and it seems like the people in the esports leagues that are pushing the boundaries in the F1 esports league, as well as all the other great leagues around, just like you guys' league as well. It seems to be a bit of a smash hit. So yeah, really excited about all of our partnerships that exist and ones that are coming up soon around the.
And when you talk about what's coming up soon, we'd love to ask you, of course, we get things started, the future of Next Level Racing. We've got a lot that we'd hope to see out of you guys. Is there anything else you can give us a bit of a sneak preview of?
I mean, the GT Lite Pro is really fresh, right? I think for us, it's really honing in and improving, and it comes down to community feedback. To something that Next Level Racing really prides themselves on is taking into consideration community feedback. So we send products to people to review all the time, and we take that feedback on, and we go and improve those products. So just expect more products from us in 2023 and 2024, and expect to see new and improved products, and expect to have that community feedback. Who knows, maybe the feedback that you if you're listening today, then maybe the feedback that you leave to us, whether it be on our support channels or just on social media, maybe we'll implement the features that you guys request. So keep up the feedback. We really love to hear it.
And that's one of the things that I think is great about sim racing. It's always been mostly about the community. A lot of individuals making the big pieces fall into play. And I'd like to expand on that. I'm not sure if you can add any more to it, but how do you think the community has impacted the growth and success of Next Level Racing?
Oh, it's everything. Look, Next Level Racing was founded in 2009. So this really didn't happen overnight at all. When talking about being in 23. So for us, it's really important. The same reason why we partner with you guys. The same reason we partner with people from the grassroots as well as the sort of top esports teams. It's really about expanding the industry and supporting on levels. So yeah, it's everything to us. Yeah, we can't wait to do more community events, collaboration, partnerships with people that are active in the community.
Now that is great to hear. The community always a big piece for Next Level Racing, and I'd have to circle back to us in specific. I mean, there's such a big deal going on. It's the first time we've had such a big prize for the championship overall for both our series, What really got us to that point? And of course, giving out such a great prize to these guys, what's really the sort of motive to bring that all together for these leagues? A lot of these guys, homegrown, making it happen for themselves. So these prizes, they're game changers, that's for sure. Put a lot of things in different perspective. What led you guys to sort of the idea that this could be done, and it can be done for guys who are, at home, they've got their own setup. It doesn't matter how big, how small. They're just guys who are racing here online, and they're trying to make it happen for themselves and getting such a big prize. I think it's such a big deal for them.
100%. I think it really helps create a league when you have prizes, especially with brands like us. It makes a lot of sense, right? Part of why we do it, I think, is to make sure that there's a nice little trophy at the end of it, and for us, that's the trophy. So we'd love to see more and more cockpits in people's rooms. If that means partnering with leagues like yourselves, and synergizing and making that Simpita trophy, then we're all for that. So it's an honor, to be honest. I think seeing you guys race and really race it seriously and put in the effort and put in the practice. I mean, I think that's what it's all about. So we're nothing without the community, obviously. So it's really high priority.
And of course, it couldn't be done without the collaboration we've seen from both sides, from Next Level Racing, and of course, the Integrity Race League. Now, you're here for our All-Star Night. This is one of the biggest races we have in the entirety of the season. You got anything to say to these drivers before we get this one going? I know this one's a big night for every single one of them.
100%. I think focus in, hone in on everything that you practice for. Be humble, and just don't leave anything in the tank. Leave it all on the track, and take it to the next level. I'm really excited to see who hits the podium for this one and who takes it out. Really, really excited to see.
That's great to hear. Once again, Tim Joyce, our special guest from Next Level Racing. Before we leave this off, any final thoughts from your end before we get this one going? It's been great to have you for us. We'd love to hear a little more if you got anything more to say.
100%. I mean, head over to our social media platforms, Next Level Racing. You can find us on all socials. We've just released the GT Light Pro, so go hype us up. And you guys want to win one of those, I'm sure Integrity Racing League will be posting a league code in the Discord, so you guys can have a chance to win one. But it's a really exciting day for Next Level Racing. It's amazing it's picked up with this event as well. So thank you so much for having me on, and best of luck to all the competitors.
Well, Tim, it's been great to have you as our special guest for tonight's broadcast. Thank you once again for stopping by. We thank you in Next Level Racing for your great collaboration with the Integrity Racing League. Thank you once again.
Thanks so much.
Tim Joyce from Next Level Racing stopping in to say hi, giving us his thoughts of the Next Level Racing in entirety, the website, the products they're working on, and the big connection. It's all about the community, and that's the big thing about sim racing. We're going to take a brief Next Level Racing ad break before we get things going, just to situate ourselves in the main race session. And from there on out, we'll be on our way live on FTN. Stay tuned. We're just getting started. We will be back after our brief Next Level Racing ad break. And that was your Next Level Racing advertisement break, the first of which for tonight. We got a few other promotions we'd like to show you. Next Level Racing, a proud partnership with Ferrari very recently. Next Level Racing, of course, for all your sim racing equipment needs since 2009. The best of the best, so don't settle for the rest, of course. We've got ourselves one of the best in the business, Cody Smith carrying their colors in the number 18 machine, as we are now in the main session for your all-star race. 100 laps of racing. We've got 8 minutes of practice, which are due to be skipped through, so keep an eye out for that as we are still settling ourselves in for tonight. It's going to be a great show put on by all these drivers, and we're going to be given the signal to advance to qualifying. Right about now, we have over 15 drivers in, and still more are coming through as the best of the best come in. It looks like most of which are on pit road. Currently leading our practice charts, it looks to be the driver of the number 13, Blake Gordon, once again very fast at North Wilkesboro. He showed it in practice before. Now looking to show it again here in qualifying. We'll see whether or not that works out for him as drivers continue to go through here in qualifying. Trevor Tragle is working toward it. 7 minutes and 15 seconds. He just got on the circuit for the first time tonight, so he's certainly got a lot more time to make things better, keep on improving. That's the way these drivers are going to have to keep themselves in the game. North Wilkesboro, sometimes you're not immediately the best driver at it, and that just happens to be the way it is. It's a very tricky track, a lot of character, very different from the modern oval circuit, and qualifying now going to be on its way. Practice is over. It was Blake Gordon, the fastest driver in it, and now the main event going to be on the move in 5 minutes time. Cal Filarski, one of the first drivers out on the way, and so is Trevor Trago. Qualifying now going to get started as it's now Trago on the move here in Wilkes County. Cal Filarski going to be there as well in the Castrol GTX machine. How about Boomer Logan, Justin Morton, John Steele there as well, Bobby Ross, and as qualifying gets on its way, there's only 5 minutes to get this one done and get on the move to see who gets that coveted pole position in the virtual Wilkes County. And Seth Well, after a dominant first half in the Octane Series, switching his number to number 9 for Splashy Go Graphics. He's got that number for the first time in this league tonight. Now ripping the high side, getting some momentum as DJ Stagner currently leads your qualifying charts. Stagner there with the number 64 machine. Want Motorsports, the defending champion of the Integrity Ignite Series. He's looking to work his way through to start in first. Rob Ackley's in a bit of trouble that time by. Maybe he'll be able to rectify it, but he looks to be in a bit too much trouble. That time through, he will despawn from the circuit. Justin Morton going to be scored now in position number 9. Don Stevenson from first in the open is now going to be 9th in the main, as it looks like he's going to be able to knock off a few drivers and make his way inside the top 10 for a brief moment. Now it looks like Jacob Fife scored in 10th. Stevenson fades back into 11th, and every driver getting an opportunity to make it work for 2 laps time. Looks like Stevenson has taken his, and he'll be done with his qualifying run. Justin Morton now on the move. Brandon Bernhardt will be as well, and Bernhardt in the number 81 looking to be the 17th and final driver of the night. Looks like he goes up into 13th, 17th entry, that is, as he now makes his way further up the qualifying ladder. Blake Gordon, the number 13, he's going to be scored in second. Sethwell will be third. Thomas Bressy in the number 24 Exalta machine is in 6th. And up and down the field, only one driver has not taken a qualifying time. So with that in mind, we're going to show you your starting grid as things get going here in the Integrity Racing League. The All-Star Race will start in just a few minutes. North Wilkesboro Speedway, the site of the 2023 NASCAR Cup Series All-Star Race, will be the site of the Integrity Racing League All-Star Race, a prize pool that might be not as big as NASCAR, but it's still a big one. Over $125 going to be on the line for many drivers to get a chance at it. Every driver has an opportunity to come home with at least $5. Your winner has a chance to come home with 50. And now, with that in mind, we've got over 15 drivers once again, looking to be 18 in the main event session right now, that will get this one going once more. So without further ado, let's show you your starting grid for the mid-season classic. This is the Integrity Racing League All-Star Race, and on the front row, on pole position, your defending champion of the inaugural season of the Integrity Ignite Series, it is DJ Stagner with an 18.777. Lucky Sevens put him on pole in the 64 machine as Stagner's inside of row number 1, firmly beside Blake Gordon, who seemed to be the fastest man in the open when it came to his speed in practice. Blake Gordon going to be qualifying second with an 18.834, and Sethwell only 0.05 of a second back in his brand new number as well. Will be starting inside of row number 2, 9 machine there with an 18.884. Nicholas Ward is going to be scored in fourth with a 18.916. And Rob Ackley, who finds himself inside of row number 3 in the number 22 machine, will round out your top 5 with an 18.929. Thomas Bressey going to be scored in 6th with an 18.939. He'll be outside row 3 in the 24 machine, as Justin Morton is in the 9 machine as well. Looks like we got a pair of 9s tonight. That's going to be a bit confusing. The black 9 is Sethwell. The white 9 is Justin Morton. Morton's 9 is going to be in 7th with an 18.943. Inside of row number 4. Nick Tarbuck going to be there in the number 4 machine in the 8th spot. Tarbuck has an 18.949 outside of row number 4, as Cody Smith is 9th inside of row 5, as the 18 machine for Next Level Racing is there with an 18.952. Rounding out your top 10, it's Don Stevenson, and the number 47 will round out the 5th row on the outside with an 18.981. Your winner from the main starts inside the top 10. From there on out, we've got Trevor Trago in 11th with a 19.005, and Jacob Fife in 12th, your league owner with a 19.036, starting inside the top dozen. Then, Bobby Ross, 44 machine, 13th position, with a 19.043. Brandon Bernhardt is going to be in 14th, and Boomer Logan is going to be in 15th. Then it's going to be John Steele, position number 16, and Cal Falarski in 17th. And the 93 of Ryan Farrell rides shotgun to round out the field for the 2023 Integrity Racing League All-Star Race. With that in mind, Wilkes County, the track is silent. But only for now, as the starting grid will load up, and for the final time you see the track empty. Now, the best of the best come to do battle, as the number 64 is already on his pole position. Not too far behind, it's going to be the number 13 who's next to him, and these two drivers looking to lead the field into battle. It's going to be Sethwell right on back in 3rd, Nicholas Ward, who's in 4th there as well, Rob Ackley in an all-black number 22, barely in the picture, inside of your top 5. A total of 18 drivers to make up the main event, and it looks like every one of which is already on the field. So we're going to be able to get the pace car on the way early and get the race on the way early as well. Stagner now on the move. Blake Gordon right there with them. Sethwell going to follow him through in 3rd. And after a fantastic open race, only 2 yellow flags in 50 laps, we saw great action all throughout. DJ Stagner, he's going to have a bit more time from the spectator's perspective to prepare. But from the driver's perspective, there's not much you can do but try to collect information from what you saw. He was in the session watching that run, so we might have a bit more info than we do as a driver, but it is still a tricky position to be in compared to guys like Nicholas Ward, who were in that open race. He knows how the track drives after a certain extended period of time, and he knows that it is certainly not the same as a qualifying run or some practice laps ran without much pressure on the mind. And on the line tonight, $50 for your grand prize. DJ Stagner is in the spot to take it if he just makes it home 100 laps in that same position. The winner takes home almost half the prize pool. The rest of the drivers have to keep on fighting for anything else. It's all about the big money and not the table scraps. DJ Stagner, the champion, already wants to champion himself again. The green flag's out for the 2023 Integrity Racing League All-Star Race. Stagner leads them, and Blake Gordon's right there with. Blake Gordon's got himself a race lead. It's going to be Seth Well and DJ Stagner fighting side by side for the first time, I believe, in their entire run in the Integrity Racing League. One driver from the Ignite Series, one driver from the Octane Series, and now they're doing battle on the same racing real estate. This is the only time we'll see that all season long for guys like Seth Well, who don't often race against the Xfinity Series machines in the Ignite Series. So this is a change of pace, but a welcome one, as DJ Stagner certainly showing he knows how to hold on, but he did not hold on to that race lead. It's Blake Gordon's right now, and it is his by a decisive margin. He's got more on it than Don Stevenson did in the Open, a half a second ahead of Seth Well already, and he's trying to grow that gap more and more. Just getting this thing started, and he already has a half a second. Rest of the field is still doing quite well. Back of the field is single file, and it looks like not a fuss being made. They're all going to lay back nice and smooth for now. Maybe we'll get about the same run length as we did in the Open, with just about the same amount of drivers as those registered for the Open. It's a bit more than double compared to those who raced in that 50-lap event. Double the drivers, double the laps, and it's only fitting that we've got double the gap for the race lead, as Blake Gordon now is going to be leading Seth Well by 1 second, and it's DJ Stagner still in the wake of the number 64. Thomas Bressy's going to be in fourth in the number 24 machine. Nicholas Ward is in fifth, and 6 laps in, the drivers have already made their places firm, and they think they've got a good understanding of the track. Well, maybe they are wrong. We'll find out. It looks like right now most drivers run single file, not trying to make any gutsy passes to ruin races. No faster pairs, and this is the first time in months these guys have raced together. They're all getting acclimated to one another all over again. Blake Gordon, very quick, finds himself the leader, 8 laps in out of 100. No competition so far for him, and he'd like it to stay that way. Looking on back, John Steele, the first man in trouble in his number 22 machine. He's one of 2 number 22s, so keep an eye out for that. The Balls machine is going to fade back to the bottom of the racing order, and now he's going to make it down to pit road. Chevy Camaro, done and done, might be the case as he makes it down, limps it in. Now, John Steele fades out of contention as pit road is now his. Blake Gordon going to lead the way, 10 laps in out of 100, and it's going to be the Endeavor Racing Machine on a journey tonight, trying to take it home for the first time this season. And even though it's not points paying, it would still be big. $50 on the line to every one of these drivers. Seth Well, who's been accustomed to winning all season long in the Octane Series, doesn't want to lose this one, that's for sure. First yellow flag, Ryan Farrell and Cal Filarski. And just like that, we've got ourselves an incident between the number 93 and the number 6. First yellow flag of the day in the main event. And it looks like it's going to happen in the back of the field. Both of these drivers were running in 16th and 17th respectively. And as you take a look, Cal Filarski goes up high. It's Ryan Farrell down low, and Filarski hooks him in, and they both go up to the wall, and that takes them both out. That brings out the yellow flag. 12 laps through, we've got ourselves a caution on the circuit. As we go back live, Ryan Farrell is now with the field, and Cal Filarski looks to be just about a second back, so they're good to recollect it and get back going. 13 laps in, Blake Gordon showing his muscle and flexing it every lap through. He gained a 1 second lead in just 12 laps of Green Flag Racing. Now 13 laps in, he's brought back to reality. It was one of the best opening runs we've seen all season long. To build such a gap and at a track like North Wilkesboro, it's even more challenging. It's Blake Gordon who leads the way nevertheless in that number 13, and with 13 laps in the books, the 13 leads, and he has been able to lead every one of these laps so far. He was by far the quickest driver in this race, at least in the short run. Long run, we are not yet, of course, sure. Only 14 laps have gone by, and Nicholas Ward looks to be disconnecting, and it looks like he's going to be able to recover on his internet side. So no drivers lost just yet. John Steele, 4 laps down, he's in trouble, but we've still got a full field contending for the race win. And Blake Gordon trying not to make it a battle, but just trying to take it to the end. Seth Well and DJ Stagner, they were battling very well, second and third. fighting in the podium places. Maybe there's more to that as we see the laps wind down. It was Seth Well who had the edge, but Stagner was getting closer than we anticipated at the very least. These two racing each other for the first time. Definitely a change of scenery for the both of them. Racing different groups and racing at North Wilkesboro. Not seen all too often in the Integrity Racing League, and for good reason. It makes it that much more special. We get it in the All-Star race, and it's been fantastic up front so far. Looks like Cal Filarski is going to be on the lead lap, and Ryan Farrell is as well, so they'll be able to keep on contending, and they're only a few spots behind where they were beforehand. They were in front of Boomer Logan before that yellow flag, and now they are directly behind him. So at the end of the day, not all too much lost. They'd love to gain more. As we come back to the green flag at lap 17, they've got a chance to settle the score. The home of the first Union 400 for years and even decades, North Wilkesboro Speedway, an iconic short track in NASCAR's history. And tonight, the virtual realm gives Wilkes County another fair, well, I'd say it's nothing more than a tribute. And it's going to be a tribute from the best drivers in the Integrity Racing League, no less. That's a high honor in the iRacing scene as Blake Gordon gives them another restart to worry about. First restart on the main event, and a 13's back on the way. Blake Gordon able to pull out with a big gap once again. Thomas Bressy going to be up high in the number 24 machine, and it's going to be DJ Stagner now in third. They're all working with each other, not too far behind. The picture is going to be guys like Nicholas Ward and Nick Tarbuck. It's going to be the Nicholas group up in the top 10. Then Cody Smith and Jacob Fife. Fife going to work his way down to the bottom side. The 36 machine's got a chance to make it through. He's going to try to shut that door this time. Not going to be able to make it happen. It's Stagner spinning, and DJ Stagner brings out yellow flag number 2. Safety yellow, and DJ Stagner's in trouble 19 laps in. Let's take a quick look at what just happened. And DJ Stagner involved in that caution as we take a look a lap back. The 64 is the sole cause, nobody else involved with him. Thankfully, the race will keep on going, but DJ Stagner loses all that track position. He's down low on Justin Morton, makes it closer and closer, but he spins off the exit of turn number 4, and it looks like it's a bit of a transition from the banking to the flat pavement that catches the 64 out. The Night Series champion fades to the back. He's going to have to light the fuse and get it back going, as now is Stagner far behind the field, now beginning to gain back ground. He scored in 17th as Blake Gordon remains your leader 21 laps in. Blake Gordon's got himself a good lead in that number 13 machine. Seth Wells going to be in second, and it's Thomas Bressy there in third. So Blake Gordon's got himself an edge 21 laps long. Maybe now drivers are beginning to pay attention to what he's doing. Maybe there's a chance to get some more information out of him. But so far, he has been unstoppable, and a fifth of the way through already. Maybe he'll try to keep it that way by building another gap. 2 cautions, 21 laps, short runs for sure, but maybe now with these guys getting loosened up early, we'll have a longer run to the end. Now, the Integrity Racing League main event in the All-Star race has tied the amount of yellows we've seen in the Open, and it's done so in a shorter amount of time. So hopefully we'll get this race back on the road, get the racing back on its way, and we'll have ourselves a clean run to the finish, as the number 13 certainly does not want to have this competition so close to him. Yellow flag out for the second time. Blake Gordon has led him stripe to stripe so far, from second on the grid at least, and now looks to keep that lead as we come to the quarter-way point in just a few laps time. We'll be going green at lap number 25, as a matter of fact, and the number 13, having this lead, knows every yellow is a chance to take it away from him and take it away big. If there's contact made from the back end of that number 24 in Thomas Bressy, or it's Seth Well who gets into him, rubs him up just a bit, it's going to be a problem, and it might take him out of winning contention entirely. Track position is major in Wilkes County. Unless you're that much faster than the rest of the field, you absolutely need to maintain the top spots all throughout the race. You can't risk losing it for tires unless it's an absolute emergency. It simply is not worth it to lose that position. The speed of your car, it does not determine all too much when it comes to passing here. The track is what you gotta fight more than the drivers. Well, right now, that doesn't seem to be all too much of a case. However, if we get a long run, we might see that come more into play. Second yellow flag will lead to your second restart at the lap number 25 marker. Let's get it back going once again. The green flag will fall for Blake Gordon and Seth Well as restart number 2 gets on its way. The pace car drops in and Blake Gordon drops out. Blake Gordon gains the lead once again. They're double file, multiple rows deep. You're notably going to see Nick Tarbuck now fighting with Cody Smith. Smith up high in the next level racing machine, going to fade a bit further back. Number 18 machine does. Jacob Fife down lows, got himself a shot to stick his nose in again, but it looks like he'll stay nice and easy and stay with Bobby Ross instead. Ross fighting for a top 10, trying to get himself into it. He does not have a chance to right now. Jacob Fife slots him out of line. He'll just have to keep on fighting on the high side. The harder line to make work as Cal Falarski's in trouble once again. Cal Falarski rips off the front bumper, and now another number 6 machine destroyed in another race in Wilkes County. The front end destroyed. Not much more can be done about this machine. It might be the race over just like that, and he'll have to limp it down a pit road. Cal Falarski loses the hood on the way there. Instant replay on the matter. The Cal Falarski machine laying back on the field scored in about the 15th place and loses it off exit of 4. Can't correct it, and he smashes the pit road wall and takes it all out on that front. Loses the hood, loses the bumper, and loses a chance at the win in the same time. Blake Gordon, however, has not lost the lead all throughout the race. He's got himself the edge, 29 laps in, going to lap number 30 this time around. Green flag remains on the track. They're single file all the way down to guys like Brandon Bernhardt. And now it is Rob Ackley working with Brandon Bernhardt double file for position number 12. Coming through, number 22 machine trying to make that pass happen, but he won't give in just yet. Brandon Bernhardt won't. He's got DJ Stagner work with as well. And Stagner, who was up front in the top 3, now mired back in 13th. That's exactly what we mentioned about track position. You lose it, you are done for. And there's no way to recover it short of getting lucky. Unless you're really that much faster. Unless you're like Blake Gordon right now, it simply is not possible to work your way through effectively to run with the leaders. Right now, Blake Gordon running on a pack of his own. He's got himself a 7/10 of a second advantage once again. Seth Well fading out of frame once more, but it is not to the same degree as it was the time before. A big bobble from Justin Morton. Morton saves it. Nice move to keep it going, and it's a golden look for that number 9 machine. The first time we've seen him in a next-gen this season. He's one of the guys in the Ignite series, and he was not lucky at all, to say the least, last season. A very quick driver when he's able to take it to the checkered flag. Fought for a win at the Nürburgring against Thomas Bressi, but it seems like most of the time he simply can't get it to that checkered flag, be it a wreck on his fault, on another driver's fault, be it an issue with his hardware, issue with his software. There seems to be something impeding that number 9 machine every week. He'd like to turn a new leaf and maybe make it happen and get to the checkered flag a few times this season, because he's fast right now, but Bobby Ross is slow, and we've got ourselves a yellow flag. Number 44 machine goes around for caution number 3. And a yellow flag falls for Bobby Ross this time. Caution down, 3rd time asking, and the number 44 right there with Jacob Fife in the middle of the pack. Now, this is when the yellow flag occurs. Bobby Ross going to be working his way through, and it looks like, at least based on this frame, he'll lose it on his own, and that is what happened. Shades of DJ Stagner, almost the exact same incident, and a safety yellow flag going to be brought out on the track once again. 36 laps in out of 100, and it is Blake Gordon who still leads him, but it was a big hit for Bobby Ross to bring out yellow flag number 3. He's going to be right there with Boomer Logan as the leaders are back again with each other. And with that in mind, we're going to take a brief yellow flag break with another Next Level Racing promotional break. And this will only take us a minute, so we'll be right back. You won't miss a thing green flag-wise, and we'll return with all the action 37 laps in. Thank you for stopping by so far. We're just getting started live on FTN. The Integrity Racing League All-Star Race not halfway through, so stick around to find out what happens from this point onward. We'll be right back. And as we return from our Next Level Racing promotional break, 38 laps in to become 39, we look to be set to go green at lap number 40. And it's Blake Gordon who's led every lap so far, a dominating performance, and the caution extended by 1 extra lap will go green at lap number 41. The number 13 with a brand new number, moving away from the number 48 of Jimmy Johnson's fame to make his own legacy, the number 13. And tonight, he has been on it. Second in qualifying, took the lead in the first lap, and he has not let it go ever since. He's been able to hold that lead hostage, and he's trying to take it all the way to the end of the race. Maybe he'll be able to make that happen. Right now, we have a chance at seeing a sweep of every lap in the All-Star race, which would be unforeseen. This is Blake Gordon's best race by a wide margin this year. He's not looked dominant in any other start to the same degree, and against guys like Seth Well, who have dominated the Octane Series, this is unprecedented. So the 13 making a big wave, that's for certain. It's a big splash and a big wave all at once, and tonight might be able to come home with his first win of the year with a $50 bonus to go alongside it. Now, iRacing official pace car drops in. Pit road it will dive to as the leaders dive out of corner number 4, restart number 3. Blake Gordon leads them again. We're back on our way from Wilkes County. Roughing it up outside the top spot. Seth Well going to be side by side with Thomas Bressi. Bressy's got himself down low, but he'll let go for just a moment to get a better runoff exit. They're going to be door banging again, and the exit will work much better for Thomas Bressi. Bressi going to be able to get that spot from Seth Well, at least for now, and the 9 machines, both of which are now 3rd and 4th. Justin Morton going to be 4th, and it's going to be Thomas Bressi in 2nd, who just got by the other 9, Seth Well, who's now in the final podium position. For Nexus Esports and Slash and Go Graphics, Seth Well now looking to get back in the 2nd. He has been fantastic in the Next Gens all season long, but we got ourselves 2 Ignite Series drivers leading the way in the number 48 usually and the number 24. Of course, a brand new number for Blake Gordon, and it looks like it's bringing some new luck to the table. Bressi, though, he's only 0.2 of a second off, and he is gaining, so Thomas Bressi might have a chance to go for the All-Star race win. He's now up ahead of Seth and might be able to get up ahead of Blake Gordon. Seth Well gonna try to make a dive down low to the inside, does not make a position out of that one, does make a statement. He wants to make a pass and wants to make it quick. It looks like Thomas Bressi does not let him, and Justin Morton equally going to give him some pressure as well. Look on back. Brandon Bernhardt fighting right now with the number 64 machine of Jacob Fife. Fife is going to be the 36, my apologies. It's DJ Stagner who's fighting with as well. That's the number 64. The Chevy Camaro number 64 goes up high, and for Swamp Motorsports, Stagner trying to get the runoff exit, does get almost clear, and that he does, makes it fully around the number 81, and now Stagner's inside the top 10. Jacob Fife fighting with the number 18 machine, and for Next Level Racing, Cody Smith trying to take it to that next level, goes up high once again, works his way to the top, then tries to keep that run in play. not going to be able to stick it. Jacob Fife gets an 8th. And battles all throughout the field, and they are close. Up front, it's going to be Justin Morton, who now has pressure from Nick Tarbuck to put the green flag to him, and it's going to be Seth Well feeling the pressure from both of these drivers. Right now, the number 9 machine has been able to hold Justin Morton at bay, but with Nick Tarbuck charging hard, it could be multiple drivers going for the 3rd spot, not just Seth Well and, of course, Justin Morton. It could be 3. And now, 49 laps in, Blake Gordon has a half a second lead once again. It's taken him a bit longer to claw out a lead this time compared to the most recent restart before this one, and even our first start where we got a jump start shot off of the green flag, able to build a second in only about 10 laps. Now 50 laps in, just about halfway through, and Blake Gordon, while in the lead, has not been able to build as big of a gap. Halfway bonus would be his, but there is none. The checker flag is all that mattered for the number 13 machine. 50 laps to go to take home the $50 grand prize. Thomas Bressi working with now the Seth Well machine in 3rd, and it looks like Justin Morton also still there in 4th. These 3, they want a chance to get that lead, but right now they're just going to have to work with each other. Seth Well goes down low, not able to make it clear, so Bressi gets right back. How about a shot in the back of the number 24 once again? Let's look on board with the number 9 machine and see what's going on. Seth Well now dives it deep. He's got a chance to go for it, but Thomas Bressi stays up on the top side and gets it back going once again. Looking on board from Thomas Bressi's perspective, he's got many drivers looking to pass him, but none of them able to make it sick so far. Nick Tarbuck makes it go to the inside line on Justin Morton. Seth Well now drops in on Thomas Bressi, but he's not able to make anything happen that time by, not even able to get side by side. So it's going to be Thomas Bressi still defending harder than anyone else, who keeps it inside the podium and keeps it in the 2nd spot. It's fierce battling all throughout the field, but the biggest battles are still up in front. Jacob Fife now going to be there with DJ Stagner. As we look ahead, the closest battle is now going to be between Nick Tarbuck and Justin Morton. Morton drops down low. He takes it all the way in. Nick Tarbuck does, and he's got himself a pass in one foul swoop. That's a big move for the number 4 machine. He's quick and might be quick enough to get back to Seth Well. He was getting antsy on Justin Morton's back bumper. Morton loses time, but the number 4 machine has no time for that. He makes it by, and now he's looking to get up to the front of the field to maybe make some moves for a podium finish. The podium gets a minimum of $15, and Thomas Bressi set to take home $25. So with that in mind, you really want to get ahead for a guaranteed cash bonus. However, random drivers will get $5. 2 drivers are eligible to get $5 on a random draw based on position. We'll see who gets that at the end of the day. It could be a guy like Cody Smith or Ryan Farrell, both of them running just within the top 10 bubble. Ryan is running in 11th, and it is Cody Smith running in 10th. They are trying to stay in contention right now, and they're just within the barrier of the top 10 marker, so just about the halfway point in the field. Trevor Trago has run very well, much better in the main than the open, and running solidly inside the 6th position with Justin Morton right ahead. It's a 4-car bundle right now, heading into 1 and 2 together. They're as close as they've been all throughout the race. Well, Blake Gordon now has a 7/10 of a second advantage for Endeavor Racing. He has been phenomenal so far tonight. Nobody has been able to take his stride, take his speed, take his pace. He's been the fastest on short runs, long runs, anything in between. No yellow flag has stopped him so far. Thomas Bressi begs the question now, is there any way to stop him? And at this point, you just have to worry about the spot you've got. 2nd place, he's been able to defend very well on it, but Seth Well wants to put himself on the offense to take a spot or 2 back and get back to the race lead for his own right. Seth Well still remains in 3rd. We look on back, we've got no double file battles, but nevertheless, these drivers are very close to making something happen. Stevenson's going to be in 12th at the moment, and Brandon Bernhardt's going to be in 13th. These drivers are working on the top dozen line, and while the 47 Don Stevenson had a fantastic drive in the open, that himself after his winning interview, he felt uncomfortable with this track and car combination. He just got it, so he does not have all too much experience. And right now, does not find himself in the top half of the field. Fortunately for him, the success has not transferred over, but for Jacob Fife, we saw some smoke between himself and DJ Stagger. No incident just yet, and it looks like DJ Stagger is going to work the high side instead of trying to make some contact, as they have Nicholas Ward just ahead. The number 36 putting the power down, does not have enough speed on the low side to contend with the high side momentum. But the apex of the corner, it is a key advantage. Unfortunately for Jacob Fife, he's going to have to let DJ Stagner by. Now Stagner's got himself position number 8. Up in front, Sethwell, only a tenth of a second off of the back bumper of Thomas Bressi. Taking a look on the nose camera, the number 9, it is incredibly close as they've worked their way off the back stretch once again. And it gets even closer now, taking it down to the inside line. Sethwell has a shot to take it through, but Thomas Bressi works his way off with a great exit, but not great enough to clear. This could be a change in the pace, in the complexion of the entire race, as the 24 now not able to clear Sethwell. Once again, he'll work his way up high, trying to make it happen on this run. Again, there's a chance, but it looks like it will not work out. Sethwell is now dead even, side by side at the line, and Nick Tarbuck is now in 4th, right behind it. If these two mess up, it's going to go to the way of the number 4 machine. And now, Thomas Bressi struggling to get clear of this number 1 machine. It is getting tense up in front of the field. Make it 33 laps to go this time by. We're at the 2/3 marker. And now these drivers are rubbing each other up the track. Nick Tarbuck is absolutely quicker. And taking a look on board in the cockpit, you can see the handwork. You can see he is being as cautious as he can be. Descended down inside, trying to make it 3 wide. He gets closer that time than ever before, but does not make it stick. They're running each other up the track all over now. Bressi gets shot back, and now he's going to give a shot to the back bumper. Sethwell gets position number 2. What does Bressi do about it? Nothing, at least for now. He'll try to make it happen again methodically, takes it down to the inside line, but gets loose, and now he's got Nick Tarbuck all over him with 31 laps to go. Just like that, Sethwell, 70 laps in, takes himself into position number 2, and the All-Star race, seeing some All-Star battles in the front of the field. Tarbuck gonna get very loose that time by. He saves it. Now Trevor Trago's got a chance at the top 5. It's the closest Trago's been all race long to such a position. And he gets by Justin Morton quite easily that time through. Able to make it around what could have been a wreck. Very nice avoidance. Thankfully for all of us, nothing much to avoid besides bobbling number 4, who's able to recover his position. Bressi's in 3rd. Now Sethwell is clearly in 2nd, and it is still Blake Gordon's race. It's been a dominating outing for the man, the number 13 machine, who has absolutely been able to put on the power and keep himself ahead of the field all throughout this race. No driver has led this one besides the number 13. That's how good he has been all night long. Absolute dominance, and 73 laps in, he has led every one of which. Ryan Farrow going to be siding side by side with Nicholas Ward, and we can see these two are working different lines. Ryan's going to be working it down low. It's going to be Nicholas Ward up high. Cody Smith tries to take a piece of it, but does not have a shot. Close, but not enough to make it happen. And with 27 laps to go, it is Ryan Farrell up in front in the 9th spot. Your leader stays the same in Blake Gordon. Noah Carmichael is not in this race, but we'd like to mention drivers all throughout the field, even if they're not here tonight. We have many drivers in the Integrity Racing League waiting to compete. We've seen winners in the likes of Ethan Lane, Caitlin Haight, Tom Wetmore, guys who are not here, but they are certainly all-star caliber. Simply do not have themselves time, at least, to make it in for this non-points race. But with that in mind, do not worry. We're going to see all of your favorite Integrity Racing League drivers, be it the Ignite Series or the Octane Series, very soon. In just a week's time, the Octane Series gets back on the way, and in August, the Ignite Series comes back with a bang at Talladega. Keep your eyes peeled. It's going to be fantastic as all the best of the best in this league come back to life. Blake Gordon has been alive all night long, and he has been incredible. 24 laps to go, make it 23 this time by, and the number 13 has been running real well. Nobody else in his path all throughout. Clean track, clear sky. It has been perfect, and with 23 laps to go to make it 22, let's crank it up with the best cameras on the iRacing platform as always, cranking it up with 22 laps to go, courtesy of TrackCams22.com. And out of corner number 4, once again, it is Blake Gordon with 17 laps to go, leading the way. But take a look at this. We've got ourselves a battle for the race lead, and it's the closest it's been all race long in a green flag run. Seth Well now 0.2 of a second away, turning on the jets to make it back in the final few laps, and he's got himself a chance to go all the way indeed. Now only 0.2 back, a quarter of a second in fact, and now we've got ourselves a fight up in front. Maybe Seth Well found something late in the going, maybe the tire wear given away for Blake Gordon, but all of a sudden the dominance that we saw for most of this race, it is slipping away, and the number 9 machine is now up in front as he works his way lap after lap, gaining more time. Blake Gordon now in the hot seat, and he'd need a yellow flag to save him, and I don't expect to see one the way things have gone. Long green flag run, the longest we've had all night long, taking us down to the final stretch. It is now a total of 87 laps in, and only 14 laps remain. Time is running out for Blake Gordon. He just needs to make it to the end of this race intact if he wants this win, but Seth Well dives up high. He wants to take this lead and wants to take it bad. He gets close. No cigar that time by. Just has to wait for another opportunity. A Baker's dozen to do it this time through, and the number 13, with 13 to go, is still the man up front. Battles all throughout the track. We've got now Thomas Bressie with Nick Tarbuck and Trevor Trago with Justin Morton. They're now in several pairs of battles, and the battle packs are forming. Notably though, your leaders are still ahead of the field and by a wide margin, but it is not just one leader, it is 2. Seth Well might have worn out his stuff though. He's lost about 1/10 of a second, diving it in on entry, losing it off of exit. That is not sustainable in the long term. However, it looks to be the method that the number 9 machine is taking to maintain his ability to keep up with your race leader. 11 laps to go. This time by, Blake Gordon still has himself an edge, and they're shoving now. The leaders are making contact, and with 10 laps to go, time is indeed running out. We'll take a brief Next Level Racing promotional break one final time. You won't miss anything else after this. We'll be right back. as we come back live on FTN, take a look at this. Number 13 machine on the bottom. It's going to be Sethwell right up high. Coming through the number 9 machine and he's going to be able to get it as Blake Gordon bobbles off the circuit. And just like that, Sethwell is your race leader. How about it for the man in the number 9 machine? The handwork, it is still as smooth as it can get. And as he comes around for yet another lap, it's going to be Sethwell taking it down with 6 laps to go. Unbelievable. After 90 laps of domination, Blake Gordon is now not your race leader, and it's Sethwell looking for the $50 grand prize. For Nexus Esports, a brand new number for the number 9, and he now wants to come home as a race winner in his first time of asking. Blake Gordon with a brand new look as well, and the 2 drivers with new looks on their number 9 and number 13 respectively are still chasing a win. 5 laps to go this time by, but Sethwell is checking out. He got that lead and he is going. He's now got a 5/10 of a second advantage over Blake Gordon, and the yellow flag falls for Nick Tarbuck, and we've got ourselves an overtime finish in Wilkes County. Now, this race is in anyone's hands. Nick Tarbuck spins, and we've got ourselves a whole different race. And Tarbuck goes around off the grass with Thomas Bressie there. Minor contact with most drivers. Just like that, the yellow flag will fall for what could be the final time, 98 laps in out of 100. And drivers come down pit road for the only time tonight. This is substantially different from what we expected at this moment. Everyone seems to be in, bar Sethwell, Thomas Bressie, and Nicholas Ward with Don Stevenson. Trevor Trago looks to win the race off pit road. Bobby Ross going to be able to be right with them. Justin Morton coming in as well with new set. Is Blake Gordon is going to be with it as well. And now Jacob Fife is in 9th with DJ Stagner in 10th. Sethwell, 99 laps in, remains on an old set of Goodyear rubber, and it is now a game of strategy to see who gets it done in this all-star race. After what looked to be over 50 laps of green flag action, find ourselves with an overtime finish, settle the score, and find out who comes home with the $50 grand prize. 3 laps to go this time around. And Sethwell only just recently grabbed the lead, now in jeopardy all over again. It was never necessarily a sure thing for the number 9, but it was getting to be closer and closer to an absolute victory. The way things were going, time running out, had a great chance to make it happen. But as it stands, it seems like there's nothing more that he can do but wait to see who makes it stick and who doesn't, as the final 2 laps may see some over-aggressive driving. Guys going right through the corners, drilling as hard as they can to make it happen, trying desperately to take the lead. We might see some guys wreck on the final few laps. We might not even get to the final lap on this first overtime attempt. Let's go through our overtime rules in full. Green, white, checker. The first lap will be a green flag lap. If we do not have a yellow flag, we go to the white flag, but if we do have a yellow, it will not end the race, and the race will extend. Our 103 lap mark is the mark that will end the race as it stands. Any more yellows before the white flag will go past that point. If we get to the white flag, race is over, and that will be it. White flag, checkers or wreckers, it will all be official, and nothing can change when the race ends. The iRacing official pace car drops in for the first overtime attempt tonight, and Sethwell gets a blinding start. He's got himself a lead again. Now Thomas Bressie has himself a shot. They're 3 wide. They're multiple rows deep now. DJ Stagner going to be right behind the number 13 of Blake Gordon. Gordon got a split at 3. He's desperate, and he is moving as we've only got 1 lap left. The final lap in the all-star race, and it's Sethwell who still has the lead. $50 on the line. Justin Morton bobbles, but Thomas Bressie has his sights set on victory lane. Coming in for the final time, the number 9 has the lead. Thomas Bressie does put the bumper to him, but it looks to be no use. Once again, a winner of the Next Gens with a brand new number. It is Sethwell who wins the 2023 Integrity Racing League All-Star Race, and nobody had it for that number 9 tonight. It looks like it all came down to the finish. It's not about where you start, it's about where you finish, and for Blake Gordon, heartbreaking 15th. He dominated this one, but Seth Well led the one lap that mattered, the final lap. And burning it down now, it is Seth Well and his number 9 machine coming home with the $50 grand prize at the end of the night. A fantastic performance for him. And now he is all about the celebration. It was a great run, and it's a great way for him to come back to racing competition here in the Integrity Racing League. And just like that, the 9 is up in front again. Seth Well continued to burn down the house as he comes down. Looks like he's going to reverse for a full-on Polish victory lap of sorts. Now, back forward. It's an extensive celebration after this victory, and for good reason. Absolutely what he needed to get this one back on the road. And the 9 sits it down and parks it after 100 laps of racing. How about that victory for Seth Well and the number 9 machine getting it done in an overtime finish here in Wilkes County. Stay tuned for all our interviews. We'll show you your race results after 100 laps in North Wilkesboro as Seth Well wins the $50 bonus and gets it done over Thomas Bresci in the number 24. DJ Stagner, your pole sitter, finishes in 3rd with Nick Tarbuck 4th, and Cody Smith comes home in 5th. It's going to be Don Stevenson, position number 6, with Jacob Fife there in 7th, then Rob Ackley 8th, and Bobby Ross in 9th. Position number 10 going to be held by Nicholas Ward, and Ward going to be 4 seconds off in the final spot in the top 10. It's going to be Ryan Farrell in number 11th position. Brandon Bernhardt going to be in 12th, with Justin Morton, the final man on the lead lap. Blake Gordon, 1 lap down, the dominating man in this race, finishes in 14th. Boomer Logan going to finish in 15th, with Trevor Trago 16th, Cal Folarski in 17th, and finally to round out your all-star field, John Steele, 18th spot, 95 laps down. What a race we saw. We saw long runs, short runs, and eventually a final 2-lap dash to settle the score and find out who comes home a winner in the All-Star race. And Seth Well, who's been fantastic all throughout the Octane Series season, once again a winner in the Next Gens, and it seems like he's able to pull through once more when he needs to. For the number 9 machine, a brand new look with a brand new number, but still the same results he's had all throughout the year. The number 9 of Seth Well is a winner again, and this time you take home a $50 prize with the checkered flag. How do you feel after a fantastic performance to make it work here in Wilkes County?
David, I'm not going to get penalized on an oval. We finally did it.
I think you're right about that one. This one absolutely came down to the final few laps, but it seems like there was nothing else to say about penalties. It was just the perfect move at the perfect time. 90 laps, we saw dominance in front of you. You clawed in at the last second and made it work. How was that making it happen? It seems like you flipped the switch.
The first half of the race, we were just kind of saving tires, and then the final restart of the race, Thomas had gotten us, and we were kind of just stuck behind Thomas, and then everyone started slowly falling off. Once people started falling off, I could start actually trying to pass, and then I don't know if y'all were watching me and Thomas, but I think I doored him about 6 or 7 times trying to pass him just because it's so hard to pass, and then slowly reeled in Blake, and his tires really fell off towards the last 15 to 20 laps. We were able to just slowly roll past him, got his right rear, and then took off.
And how about it? It was all about that final run. Now, one thing we noticed, overtime finish, you were one of the very few drivers who did not take tires at the end of it, and it looks like that paid off. The drivers with the new sets were not able to chase you back in that time. What led you to that call? Because it seems like it was your race winner.
I mean, we've had enough. I think our last race in the Cup Series was Charlotte, where I took 4 tires after leading most of the race, and I regretted that for however many weeks it's been. So we were not going to be putting ourselves in other people's control. We were just going to sit there and run our pace on old tires and then see how the cards played.
And tonight, the old tires paid off better than ever before, and a $50 bonus to go with it. Certainly a great way to get back on the move here in the Integrity Racing League. Now, you're part of the Octane Series. They start next week. We've taken a month or so off, and now we're back. Half the season's left. What is the goal with the rest of the season in mind?
Just try and rack up as many playoff points as we can heading into the playoffs, and then once we get to the playoffs, just click off clean races, see where the parts play, and race our race. Hopefully we get to Phoenix, and then we can race our own race and try and go for the championship.
And there we have it, yet again a victory and looking for a championship this season. Not a bad way to get back in the swing of things, as it's Seth Well who comes home with the Integrity Racing League All-Star Race victory and $50 to go right alongside it. Any thoughts after this win? Anyone else you'd like to thank?
Appreciate the admins. They gave me my new number. I'll be in the 9 from now on. We're not in the 88 anymore. Appreciate the boys at Nexus, as they were on my car again tonight. We'll probably be changing a couple paint schemes to the second half of the season. Appreciate the broadcast tonight, David. And that's it.
And there we have it, a winner again for the number 9 machine. Seth Well gets it done in the All-Star Race and an All-Star Drive here in Wilkes County. Thank you once more.
Thank you.
And it's going to be Seth Well back on his way. The number 9 gets it done on the top spot of the board as Thomas Pressey makes it home for second on the night. The number 24 fought hard, and it seems like eventually able to make it through up in front of the field. And it looks like Old Tires, a good call for you as well to make it in just behind our winner. How do you feel after this race?
I guess better than I expected. I think I've raced the Cup car probably a grand total of like 3 times, I think, since the Next-Gen car came out, because I don't like it at all. And I don't really care for North Wilkesboro either, if we're being quite honest, but I just, figured I was like, well, we'll show up and have some fun. So, but Justin helped me out. Justin Morton helped me out a ton. Like 10 minutes left in practice, he told me some break by stuff that he was running, and it helped a lot. So that, that helped. I'm just glad I finished and didn't wreck myself on the straightaway, because I did that a lot in practice. But yeah, it was fun. Once I kind of started to figure stuff out, we had some good battles and stuff there. Like Seth and I raced really hard. Just trading a little vinyl. I guess it's not paint anymore, but it was a good time. I had fun. And I thought I screwed up on the last, the last caution there. I was like, oh, there's no way you're gonna pit now. And then I look up and like everybody's pitted behind me. And I'm like, I screwed up badly. And then Justin told me he took 2 and he was the first one out, and he was like 6th or 7th or something like that. And then I was like, okay, well, he won't be a factor. And then we go into 3, come to get the white, and he's there. So I thought that was going to be it. And then I guess they got tangled up together. So, but yeah, I was just here to have some fun and try to hang in there as best as I could. It was definitely quite a learning curve, but it was a good time nonetheless. So I guess can't be too upset about second.
And it was a great run regardless there. Looks like that risky pit strategy call was the one that paid off. But besides that, we saw some great driving all throughout, long runs and short runs. How do you feel the 24 was in terms of the entire race? It seems like it was on course for a long run to finish it off until that final overtime.
Yeah, it was. I felt like I was okay. I knew from the beginning I wasn't going to have short run pace, just because I could not figure it out. I still didn't, even by the end of the race. But so my plan was I was like, well, if I'm going slow enough, maybe it'll work out in the long run. And it kind of did. And then the right front started to give up. So, and that's the one thing that I've really struggled with this Cup car now, is just being able to kind of feel what it's telling you. it's like numb and really rigid and responsive all at the same time. It's very strange, and I'm still trying to work all that out. So the right front kind of just went away, and I really couldn't tell. And so I just pretty much from about halfway onward, I was just kind of fighting with that a little bit and trying to mitigate it as best I could. So I was trying to open my lineup, and that kind of left the door open a lot into 3, which got me past once and almost twice. But I mean, it was okay. I think I did fine. Obviously, if I ever run the car again, at least I've got a slightly better clue as to what to do with it. But yeah, if you told me I was going to finish top 3, top 5, even, I probably would have said you were joking. So, I'm happy with the result at the end of the day, and can't be too disappointed for probably like my 3rd race or whatever in the car.
And that's the one thing we'd like to mention. You're the 24 machine, of course, in the Ignite Series. You are the highest finisher from those in the Ignite Series. And the 24 machine, we won't see it running until August. So you've still got a bit more time before you get back racing again. It's a definitely different sort of feel for the Next Gen and the Xfinity machines. With last season in mind and the next season coming up, next half season, so to speak, a strong run all throughout last time, almost a champion. What's it going to take with the second half of the year in mind?
For one, qualify better. That was kind of the Achilles heel I felt like last season. So just try to work on that a little bit. Because it's such a tough group of guys in the Ignite Series that making that track position back up during the race when you don't qualify well, it's super difficult to do. So got to get better at that, and then just otherwise, at least in terms of finishes and stuff, just try to be consistent like we were in the first season, put ourselves in the mix as much as we can, and just pick up wins where we can, and just try and stay in the title hunt best we can again. So we saw last year, it ain't over till it's over, because I think the last race I was like 20 something points out, and I've ended up like 3 out of the championship. So just got to stick with it, do better in qualifying. And yeah, I've enjoyed the long off season for sure, but the itch is, especially after tonight, the itch is there to get the season back going again. So got, I think, 1 more month, like 4 weeks or whatever, until we get back racing, but looking forward to it nonetheless.
And with the Ignite Series coming back even closer to today, the number 24 of Thomas Bressi puts on a statement run in the Next Gens for a change. 24 machine coming home second. Any thoughts? Anyone else you'd like to thank?
Yeah, absolutely. Just shout out to Justin, my teammate. Casey, he ran the Open, but wasn't able to stay around for the actual main event. So shout out to them, as obviously, and all the league partners that we have, and you guys for doing the broadcast, and sharing what we're doing here with everybody out there, and hopefully everybody that tuned in enjoyed the show.
And there we have it. Thomas Bressi, another good show put on for the number 24 second place tonight here in the Integrity Racing League All-Star Race. Thank you for your time.
No problem. Take care, man.
And how about that number 24? Well, tonight it looks like the Ignite Series drivers dominated the podium. However, they were not the ones that got the win. It's interesting to look at it like that. Another driver we've seen, though, who does have next-gen experience, comes home here in third. And that would be DJ Stagner in the number 64, making it through the minefield on that final restart. And for you, the new tires paid off well enough for a podium finish here in Wilkes County. How do you feel after this race?
It's kind of good to just be back in the league. Haven't been in this league anything since the Ignite season was over. So kind of a good reacclimation. Haven't really done any competitive races in a while, so it's just kind of good to get the feet wet again.
And it looks like tonight you certainly still had it there, making that final charge, but all throughout the race, competitive with a few ups and downs. An early wreck, able to claw your way back up all throughout the rest of the race. Certainly different feeling compared to the Ignite Series, but you do have some next-gen experience we've seen, so how was it working it out here in North Wilkesboro?
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed there early with the spin, because really late in that run, the car was incredibly fast. I think we were probably faster than maybe everybody except for Seth. I don't know, but the car was flying, went from 15th to on the back bumper, 6th for that run. So everything was great, and it's just kicking myself for the self spin. It's one of those things where I kind of wish I either didn't make a mistake or the race was a little bit longer, because I really, really liked the car. Everything was driving good, but like I said, it was just good to get reacclimated and get feet wet again.
And all throughout, able to make that charge back up. And compared to our other guys in the top 2, you are the only one who did take tires there. The other guys chose to stay on their original set of Goodyear rubber, but you were the one who made that difference. So what led you to that choice? Because it seems like it still led you to a top 3.
Well, I think we could have stayed out and either restarted 3rd or maybe 4th. I'm not really sure, but Seth is so good that I didn't foresee any possible chance to win that way. The only chance I thought there was going to be to win was to pit and take 4 tires. So that was kind of the gamble and kind of the hope. And, honestly, 3rd is a +3 net gain from where we were. So we'll take it. I mean, sometimes it just comes down to the luck of the draw on the restarts. And a lot of times there's no skill involved. It's just luck and which lanes come clear and which lanes don't. So, we'll take it. It's a positive.
And a solid podium finish it was. Now, as we stand halfway through the Integrity Racing League year, you are the only champion that's been declared so far, getting that inaugural championship in the Ignite Series. We still are waiting till August, as we mentioned in the previous interview, but this is a great way to get yourself acclimated with the drivers once again. What is it going to take the next few steps before we get back in competition and we see you going to defend that title?
I run some other leagues here and there, but lately they've all been either on off weeks for the 4th of July, or they've just been, actually a lot of my leagues ended in the last few weeks. They're all kind of on their off seasons. So, when a lot of them start up, it's just going to be trying to get back into the flow of competitive racing, because a lot of the stuff I've been doing recently has been hosteds and just Talladega fun races, and it hasn't been very serious. So getting back into that's going to be... it's going to be a challenge, but it's doable. And when it comes to next season in Ignite, really, last season, a championship's good and great and all, but I really don't necessarily feel like it was earned, per se, with the way everything shook out. So this year is kind of a prove it sort of season, and just prove that we belonged and that it wasn't necessarily a fluke, that it can be replicated. So that's kind of the goal going into the season.
And looking to prove to be one of the best drivers in this league, tonight is definitely a thing to show for all the drivers. This is a real deal machine. The 64 comes home 3rd tonight in the Integrity Racing League All-Star Race. With that in mind, any final thoughts? Anyone else you'd like to thank?
Everybody at Swamp Motorsports, Ty, Connor, Ryan. Thank you for the broadcast and everybody who admins this league and runs it. It's honestly, I've said it before, I'll say it again, it probably is one of the, if not the most well-ran, solid, no-drama leagues that I've been a part of. So, and all that credit goes to them. I mean, the admins. So, it's just thank you to them.
And another great run from DJ Stagner, our Integrity Ignite Series champion, coming into the night, finishes the All-Star race with a 3rd place run. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you.
And DJ Stagner, your final man on the podium tonight, finds himself in 3rd here in Wilkes County as Seth Well takes home the Integrity Racing League All-Star Race victory for 2023. The number 9 gets it on top, and to bring in another leg of the Octane Series Tour, next week we're back at it, and the rest of the season will be as well. Stay tuned. Only the beginning for these drivers in the Integrity Racing League as we get back to full action by the middle of August. 2 series on Mondays and Tuesdays coming back at you very soon. And it's of course great to have the high level of competition that we have week after week. And tonight is a great showcase of just that. We'd like to thank all our drivers and Tim Joyce from Next Level Racing for coming out to tonight's broadcast. We are only beginning the second half of the season here. Still lot more coming your way. We'll be live tomorrow night with the 4-Wheel Cup Series in the Sun Valley 130. Another great race there for all you fans of the next-gen machines. They'll be back in full speed at Phoenix Raceway for another great event there. A lot of drivers coming week after week. It is sure to be a must-watch event. As always, I've been your host for tonight's broadcast, David Kreutz. Great to have you here live on FTN. If you enjoy the action, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Your support is always greatly appreciated. We'd like to thank you for your time from our studios to your homes, and we hope to see you once again whenever we're live on FTN.